Hey there, my name is Data Purple. I am a law graduate, self-taught illustrator and animator. Basically, this just means that I'm not professionally trained in either illustration or animation, but I have been teaching myself for a while on a trial and error basis. I'm kind of getting into animating slowly, and this app has been really helpful. And so I thought I could share it with you as well, so you can get started on your animation journey without having to break the bank. The app that I use for animation is Procreate. This app is a one-time payment of $10 and is best known for its incredible drawing and painting experience that rivals even the likes of Photoshop. Having used both to create, I actually think I prefer Procreate, not just in the obvious factor of price, but also quality. Before 2020, you could not animate with the app, but thanks to the Procreate 5 update that we got at the start of the year, we now have this option, and thank God. Without further ado, let's hop into the tools and I'll discuss whatever I didn't mention in this intro at the end of the video. Also, I have a bit of a stammer and I talk quite fast. If you want to slow down the video, feel free to do so. So when choosing a canvas on Procreate, you have to be mindful of layers. I do not recommend choosing a large canvas size because if you do so, you're not going to have enough layers. A smaller canvas will give you more layers, and this is important in animation because layers serve as frames here in Procreate. The more frames you have, the longer you can go with your animation. I like to do the standard 1920 by 1080. It gives me a good 92 layers. You can check how many layers that you have by clicking on the wrench and clicking on canvas and clicking on canvas information. You can click on your layers and there you have the maximum layers used, layers available, blah 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 blah. So to actually access animation on Procreate, you have to turn on the animation assist, which is actually still inside the same wrench, canvas, animation assist. When you toggle this on, a little bar appears at the bottom of the screen and you can add a frame by clicking on add frame. And basically you've added a frame to your animation. If you click on the layers panel, you see in the layer that you now have 2 layers, which is why I said frames act as layers in Procreate. So if we draw, let's say we draw a circle on the first frame, and on the second frame we draw another circle going upwards. They're not the same size, but you get the gist. You can now see the previous circle in a lighter shade of black, like looking a bit grayish because the onion skin is on. So you can click on settings to set things about the animation. So you can have your onion skin frames to be to the max, or to none, or to 1 or 2. I like to keep mine on 1. The frames per second, I like to choose 10, even though most people use 12 or 24. I just prefer to use 10. And onion skin opacity can be as light as you want or as dark as you want. I like to keep mine around like 40, 41. I also like to set mine to color secondary frames because I like it when they're like the previous frame is red and then the frame afterwards will be green. So if we draw another circle here and we go back to our second frame, you can now see that the previous frame is red and the future, the next frame is green. So you can tell where you're really at, because if you turn this off, you're both going to be grey. You might not know where one is starting, when one is ending. Obviously it's clear with animation, but when you're doing more complex things, this really comes in handy. So I like to leave that toggled on. You also have the options to do a one shot, which is just, or a loop, or a ping pong where it goes back and forth. So these are just the basics of the animation. So let's delete this, and delete this. And so let's try something even better. So what if you wanted to make something that just went round and around, or something that followed a path? What you could do is you could draw the path that you wanted to follow. That's horrible. Alright, let's go. And you can actually set this path to be a background. So you set it as you tap on the first frame in the timeline and you click background, and now it's set to be a background. You can turn down the opacity, go to your next frame and start the movement. So it starts there, you add a frame, you move it a bit further, you add a frame, you move it a bit further, you add a frame, move it a bit further, add a frame, so on and so forth. So this is really good for when you want to like keep a path in something. This is what I used when I wanted to create the weed in my Black Witch rolling weed video. When I wanted to make it like zoom up, like zoom out of the, you know, the stash and into the grinder. So I found this very useful then, and you can find it very useful yourself. So with background, obviously you don't just have to use it for making a path. I'll just turn this off. You can actually use it to, basically you can use the background to hold anything that you want to just stay static in the background. Literally what his name entails. It's on ping pong, so I'm doing that zero loop, and that's what it looks like. Okay, now here we are with my most recent animation, and you can see in the frames on the timeline that she's on her own, but our background that we set is actually what is staying for the entirety. If you turn that off, she just looks like she's walking in an empty white space, and so the background is turned on and it stays on for the entirety of the animation. And you're wondering where this pink light comes from. This pink light is the foreground. I just wanted a pink light because it matches what I'm trying to do. If you turn that off, it's not there anymore. If you turn the foreground on, it stays on for the entirety of the animation as well, and it goes above what is above the animation. So you're probably wondering why this one looks a lot fuller than the other one, and that is because there is groups. So how groups work in animation, that when something is a group, is seen as its own frame, if that makes sense. It's just one frame on its own, and the layers underneath it are just making up the exact frame. So in, like, I've opened up a group now. I've opened up group 3, and in group 3 you can see my line art, you can see my coloring, and you can see my shading. Let me zoom in on that so you can see properly. So you can see the line art, the shading, and the coloring. So that is when you want everything to be in the same exact frame user group. And then I just numbered mine because I think it's more convenient. If you don't number it and you just press that, it's gonna give you like layer 108 or whatever. So I like to number mine. So now, what if you want a frame to stay on for more than 1 second, right? So per se, I wanted, let's say, this frame to be on hold for like more than 1 frame. You can turn the hold duration, you can tap on it and turn the hold duration to what you want. And that's ridiculous. Let's put it on. So let's just watch it through without any hold. So it looks like without any hold. And if we want to hold it, you just tap on it and turn the hold duration to, like, let's say 5, and that's what it looks like. It kind of freezes, it holds. So that's how you use the holds, how to keep things on for longer than 1 frame. So that's basically I think that's all the animation tools that you needed. If you want to then export your file as a PNG file sequence, you have to flat it. So you tap on it and you click flat. Tap on it and you click flat, and you just press everything down together. And so you just send you the individual full frames instead of sending you every single frame one after the other. Like every single layer, one after the other. It just sends you like the fully formed frames. Alright, I hope you found this useful, helpful, and good night and God bless.